Dragon Age, once the belle of the edgelord ball, a series marketed as a dark fantasy world in the vein of Elric or Game of Thrones, with a writing and art style that emphasized this, where you could play the whole spectrum from noble hero to dastardly villain. And now, you get to play an entirely different spectrum of characters whose personality is predicated on where they park their pee-pee, and the Access Media reaction should tell you everything you need to know. 9 out of 10, said IGN. 4.25 stars out of 5, says our Games Radar. Get by with a little help from your friends, says Polygon. Cures my monkeypox, says Paul Tassi of Forbes. Well, that's the video, chat. Game of the year all years. This video is brought to you by BioWare, Activision Blizzard, and the Microsoft Games Division. I welcome our Silicon Valley soy lords with posterior proffered and primed for a payola enema.
Many months later.
Okay, so can we all admit that maybe Dragon Age the Veilguard wasn't that good?
Fuck.
Predictive analysis predicated upon prior performance. Once again, coming in clutch. So the question some of you may be asking is how I can know that this is going to happen. Well, dear viewer, we have seen this all before. A new game or show comes out, the Access Media gaslights their audience, and then weeks, months, or even years later, the same bought-out shills admit that insert product here wasn't that good. To be entirely fair, some of the Access Media sites will not do so, but that is not because of any adherence to personal principles, but because they have been completely subsumed to the ideology that said preachy propaganda piece pushes. The video game press acts as the uncredited PR team for most major studios at this point that conform to their coastal commie worldviews, and while people have begun calling it toxic positivity recently, we over here at the Heretical Nerd are a tad more old-fashioned, and we call it what it is: shilling. Paid or otherwise, it is shilling. Some may do it for mercenary reasons, and others may do so because they agree with the politics of the product in question. But that does not change the fact that the Access Media consistently pushes bad games like YouTube pushes Ozempic ads, and the result in the past was the same. The overweight gaming industry got to push all the propaganda they wanted with all viable criticism shoved off onto the alternative media on YouTube and elsewhere, but that no longer works, as after years of this stupidity have left the general public aware of this obvious unquestioning loyalty and have gone over to those alternatives in droves. And like Blade in the first film, we can see the industry and its friends in the Access Media for what they are: a bulbous, overweight abomination that needs to be taken out behind the proverbial barn and to be given a proverbial .45 caliber facial. I would say that it's sad to see the death of BioWare, but BioWare died years ago, when the studio decided to put politics before making good games. I would love to hear what you think down below. Throw a like on the video if you enjoyed my rant. This has been Pete, the Radical Nerd, signing off.